Hello there, you guys, and welcome to episode 8 of this Vlogmas series. So, unfortunately, I have fallen behind in this series and just in wrapping up the year in general. I'm planning for the holidays and stuff, so like not in a bad way at all, but I've just been kind of being a little easy on myself and like socializing and stuff like that. So this is actually going to be the last episode of Vlogmas. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. And I do hope that you've enjoyed it and found it useful. I've actually found it pretty useful myself, just in talking about the whole process of putting together a picture book pitch. So I'm still very much in the middle of the process. I have not made too much headway on my dummy. And so I'm hoping that like over the holidays, Christmas and stuff like that, I'll be able to kind of squirrel away and spend some quality time with it, so it'll be ready for the new year. Today's topic is, the last topic is how to put together a query letter. So first of all, a query letter is what you send either an agent or an editor to get them to read your manuscript. This is like across the industry practice, so not just with picture books, but the purpose of a query letter for a novel, say, is to really like suck them in and make them want to read your manuscript, which is going to be way longer and more of a time investment. The purpose of a picture book query letter is the same, to suck them in and make them want to read your manuscript, but oftentimes a query letter can be like as long as your actual manuscript. So it's a little bit less of like a convincing them to invest the time, and more, I think, of really an elevator pitch, and to let them know that you're professional, you understand the market, and you know where your book, character, etc. fits into it. So that's kind of how I see this. It's a really good exercise, and it's actually something you can do before you even write your manuscript. Sometimes it's kind of like making a business plan in a way, but a really short one. And sometimes writing a query letter can let you know, like, can let you know maybe that your plot is a little bit too loose and not tight enough, and maybe that you don't actually have a market for this, or you haven't thought certain things through. So although I have not written a query letter before I wrote Mr. T, I probably should have. I feel like it would be a really good exercise. So last week I went and got a bunch of really fun Christmas presents for my family. And the theme is stuff you would never buy for yourself in a billion years. Of this. I think it needs no explanation. So as per usual format, I have just kind of made like 3 basic elements or best practices when putting together a query letter. And I've also kind of outlined like what that structure of a query letter is. And I referenced a lot of material online, in particular one blog post by Joe something or other. So I left that link below, and go check her out. Like, she's awesome, and everything you need to know is actually not in this video, it's in that blog post. So there are three basic elements to any query letter. They are the introduction, the pitch, and the bio, or as I am calling, the why, the what, and the who. So in terms of the why did you write this book and why are people gonna buy it and why are you reaching out to this agent? So this is where like you really need to do the homework, know your stuff, do the research, and talk about the age range of the child that you're writing for. Any like tidbit of sort of like how you could see it standing out in the market if you want, that's not a necessity. Word count is also something that you can put in here, and you can also start things off by saying why you chose to reach out to this particular person, agent, or editor. Part 2 is the pitch, the what. What is your book about? Make this super short and sweet. They say, you know, generally 3 sentences is a good length for this. And in those 3 sentences, you want to summarize the plot. So introduce the main character, the problem, the solution, and the hook. So the hook of the book is what makes people want to keep reading it, basically. So you want to hook them with this query letter to get them hooked to your book. So number 3 is bio. Who are you? If you have any other published works, this is where you say it. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. Everyone has to start somewhere. But introduce yourself, you know, as what, author, illustrator, whatever. Don't obviously wax poetic because you want all of this to be short. If you have any accolades, say it here. And also, if you have any more manuscripts, or if this is a series and you have more of a series, you can say that here too. So just say, you know, I have additional works if you're interested, or something like that. And finally, after reading a lot of advice on how to write these and also kind of like having a think and writing some of these myself, I put together 3 best practices when putting together your query letter to sort of like a checklist or guideline or something. The first one is keep it simple. Keep it as simple as possible. Your manuscript is short. This should be short and sweet. The next one leads beautifully into that, which is be on brand. So as a writer, you want to make your query letter not only sound, but feel like you, and feel like your manuscript, and feel like your style. So if it's like a silly, like quirky picture book, then you kind of want to inject some of that. Finally, know your stuff. I hit on this before, but it's super pivotal. Like there's nothing that's a bigger turnoff when a professional person, someone who's really busy, who you want to get the attention of, realizes that you didn't do the research on them, or you don't exactly know what you're talking about. You didn't take the time to kind of just understand the proper way to do this and the market and stuff like that. Just be as professional as possible. Take a little bit of extra time with this. Like again, there's no rush. It's so much better to get it right. Sit with it, read it again, have a couple people read it, make sure that it sounds good and that it's something that you're proud of, because it is the elevator pitch for this beautiful manuscript and dummy and samples that you've put together. So. And this is basically what my night is shaping up to look like. We have Mr. Pierre looking like a teenager right now. We've got a glass of red wine, lots of Christmas lights, and Sex in the City. And let me tell you guys, as per usual, this gift wrapping is taking way longer than I thought. But you know what? No complaints. And that is all from me this Vlogmas. I have had a wonderful time talking about all this stuff with you guys. It has been really helpful just for me to like get back into the picture book making zone. So I'm super grateful to do that with you. And I'm also super grateful for all of your wonderful feedback on the manuscript, because that was a surprise to me and a delight. I really appreciate it. It was so great and so helpful, and there were some points that came up over and over again, so I am changing my manuscript based on that. And thank you for being patient with me this year and understanding that, you know, sometimes I just get busy or don't feel like talking. But next year I intend to be a lot more like reliable and better. There are a couple of things that are coming up that are exciting, that are kind of like YouTube friendly, that I'm gonna be doing, and so that'll be cool. And then I'm also doing like fun projects, like I'm renovating my home office right now and I'm kind of capturing that, and like studio tour, and all of that good stuff. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful remainder of your year. And if I do not see you again this year, have a very, very happy new year. And I will see you in 2018. ttfn.